Hello, my name is Peter Parf, and today we're...
Axminster Tools and Machinery.
Now, I think most people are aware of the Parf guide system that you use to create your bench tops with the perfect lineup of rows and columns which are absolute right angles. And that allows you to do 90-degree,
45-degree cuts.
45-degree cuts time and time again.
Yeah.
But once you've got a bench top like this, there are loads of other things you can do with it.
Yeah, the bench you can have as an impromptu cutting station like we have now with trestles. You can take on site, but you can also make a great workshop bench with these griddle holes in your workshop, rock solid, to whatever size you want, whatever material you want. It's just so useful. For example, you can use clamps like this, guide rail clamps, which go into the holes, and we can clamp things to the bench. But like you have set up here, Peter, you're going to cut some birch ply, so dead square.
Yeah, and actually, you can take the cutting a stage further. For example, at the moment, we've just got the ordinary tall Parf.
Tall dogs, they're 50 mil high.
Yeah, 50 mil high.
You can cut up to 50 mil in thickness with those.
And you can use other dogs, like the super dogs, which take it just a little bit taller.
Yep.
And the long super dogs, which allow you to cut much deeper material.
Yeah.
Perhaps up to about 160 mil, I think.
Yeah, I mean, most track saws have a capacity of 85 mil.
Yeah.
But you can do trenching, can't you? That's the beauty of it, you can do trench cuts.
Trenching is really important, particularly if you're trying to do some tenons like this, because this cut here is the most important cut of all.
Yeah, that's the one you see.
That's the one you see, and that's the one you want at absolute right angles. So with your taller dogs, you can set this up to do that perfect cut there. The rest you can cut away in your normal manner, but it's that cut which is absolutely precise. Now, the beauty of the super dogs, whether it's the standard one or the long one, is that they can be used in 4 different ways.
Yeah, exactly.
It can be used, as this one is right now, with the chamfer piece there, which means that when you push it down into the bench top, it's going to stand perpendicular absolutely every time. And you just give it a twist to lock it in place.
From the top.
There. You can also put the 25mm boss on there, so it looks like the original Parf dog.
So you can use them if you already own Veritas Parf dogs.
Absolutely.
You can use them with.
Yep. You can take away and have it as a plain dog, so you can set it at slightly different heights.
Whatever height you need.
Or you can put it from underneath the bench and it'll then come up just a little bit.
I mean, there's 8 components in each of these, so
I know, it's a beautiful
precisely, we make it ourselves, very proud of that.
But we can go beyond saw cutting.
Yeah, not just an accessory for a track saw.
Yep.
These type of benches are great for clamping work too.
Right, let me just show you one quick bit of work holding. I've put in a couple of tall dogs there. I've made these up myself, and I call these Parf hats. You can make these up at home if you wish.
Yep.
And remember this piece of wood? We wanted to do some work on there. I can now put it between those two, and if I was machining here, drilling a hole, whatever it might be, I can push against there as hard as I like. And turn it round, and I can do it on the other side as well. I can push wood against there. So having these simple things which you can make yourself, just a 20mm hole all the way through, your dogs, whichever type you have, Parf dogs, Parf super dogs, and away you go. But there's other ways of holding work, aren't there?
Yeah, I mean, together we came up with the concept of the cam and wedge set, didn't we, Peter?
Yep.
So this comprises of a pair of wedges, 1 cam clamp, backstop, and a spacer piece, and 3 pups. So, for example, if I want to hold something like this, we use our chamfering. If you notice, all these have got a 45-degree chamfer on, so that registers, I can just registers the dog and makes it all low profile, all sub-flush. So we can pop that in there, again.
And of course, once you've chamfered the hole, it's chamfered forever.
They're done,
so you don't
exactly.
need to do that
Yeah. Also protects the edges, so they're not too sharp as well. So it just...
that you've just done there, people might not realise just how accurate this array of holes is.
Yeah.
That you can now put something on there which is going across the diagonal.
Exactly, Peter.
Perfectly.
This is CNC made.
Yep.
This is made by the Parf guide system.
Yep.
So that shows you how accurate.
Yeah, absolutely.
It always. So if we want to hold something, large like this piece of maple, So we use our low profile pup. The cam clamp goes on, and then we use the wedge to take up any space. Just move that out. And then you've got the mechanical advantage. This has got a very slight cam on it. We use that mechanical advantage to lock that in place. That is rock solid.
That's rock solid. That's held on the bench perfectly. In fact, I could probably pick the whole bench up.
Exactly, yeah. You know, nothing, no clamps in your way. It's all
so
all
you could
flush.
now pick up your plane?
Yeah, for sure.
And do an operation on there
on
with no
this,
problem at
so
all.
let's just shampoo off.
Yeah, sure.
This set you can buy exactly that as one set, which comprises of one backstop, a pair of wedges, one cam clamp, a spacer piece, which you can use either way if you need it, and then there's 3 little pups. But then you can buy a pair of cam clamps, you can buy a pair of wedges, you can buy those in a pairs, and you can buy these individually.
Yeah, so that's really useful because you might want to set things up so you can have several of these to maybe get things up square
Exactly.
on a bench.
Yeah, yeah. So you see we've got 3 sets of holes here, so you can use it at 45, but you can also use it at 90.
And actually setting things up square reminds me of this product. Go on, talk me through this, Tim.
Well, this is the Parf square made out of Velcromat. Again, CNC made, but we can use it on the bench. So with these holes here, let's pop that in there. Up in there. So then we can put this square on the bench. Again, this is made by CNC, but it fits onto this Parf guide made top perfectly, no movement whatsoever. So we can use this as a reference. So it's positioned onto the top using the low profile pups, and we want to assemble this frame up so we can use the small pups, and then we've got the cam clamps, and then we'll use these spacer pieces, lock that in, and on this side as well.
And if you had to put these in a different position because your wood was thicker, then you could use the wedges like we did before.
Exactly, to take up any distance to get you to the next hole. Yeah. We know that square. I don't need to get my square out to check it. So if you want to fix that up with a pocket hole or screw, wait for the glue to go off.
Now that is really useful. It's whilst you wait for glue to go off, because there's so many times you've got something brought together, and then as the glue goes off, it's not staying square.
Exactly, guarantee. So we're taking advantage of this accurately made top.
But there's also another way you can hold it square. If you didn't have these, you could put a clamp across between the 2 sides.
Sure, exactly. And if we had another assembly square, we could put that on top here, go on the inside. And with simple clamps like this, we could clamp that up.
And I've actually used the one I've got for that exact
Just that
purpose.
way. Yeah, exactly. So they work really well to get as a pair as well.
And it's interesting just how tough this Velcromat material is.
Yeah, it's really good stuff, isn't it?
It's not MDF. This is almost engineering sort of straight.
Yeah.
It's a very, very strong
much
material.
denser, much denser.
And I've got another little demo here, just how accurate this original top is, produced with the Parf guide system. You put those 2 dogs in there.
Yeah.
I've got a long dog here, and there's a hole there. Now, I wonder if that... Look at that.
That's amazing.
Isn't that
That's CNC made. That's made of the Parf guide system.
I know. Now, one of the great things about a bench like this is, of course, you can make it with the pattern holes exactly how you want it to be.
Exactly,
It could be that you're replacing your MFT3 top.
Yeah.
I've done that a few times.
Different material, if you like.
Different materials, it could be you're building your custom workbench for the workshop.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's another thing which people are not aware of. Now, you sell these clamps.
Yeah.
Now, you put the end through there, and then you bring your workpiece up, and then that now is locked solid. So if we were having to do a bit of work here, maybe with a router or something, that's going to be held beautifully.
But you don't need the top to be that complicated. You don't need to do all the holes, do you?
No, absolutely right. If you're working on site and you suddenly arrive one day and your boss says, right, I've got 200 feet of flooring, you've got to cut it all into pieces at right angles.
Yeah.
Go and grab a piece of the flooring. Go and grab a piece of MDF, and all you need to do is to put about 6 holes in it.
Dead
Just
square.
2 for the tall ones, and a couple along there, and you can then put your guide rail against the tall dogs and cut all that flooring at perfect
square,
right angles.
On site.
On site,
Yeah,
no
with
problem
a pair
at
of
all.
trestles.
Takes about 15 minutes to produce a top
About
like
6
that.
holes. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, the Parf guide system tolerances are really tight. They're engineering quality, they're engineering tolerances for the woodworker. And that means that sometimes when you put your dogs in, they're going to be a little bit tight. And it's okay pushing them in, but sometimes getting them out can be a nuisance. Well, you can make something like this. Cut a 20mm hole there, split it here, and then you've got the ideal little clamp for pulling a difficult dog out. Well, I think, Tim, we've now really shown people the current range of UJK Parf products. And it all stems from the Parf guide system, which all you need is a drill and the Parf guide system, and you can produce your perfect bench top with those rows and columns at perfect right angles.
Exactly.
And from that, all the engineering accuracy in woodwork comes into play.
And you can take this on site, so you've got the accuracy on site where you need it.
And it
or in
all
the
saves
workshop.
you space as well.
Exactly.
In your home workshop, you've got a much more compact area where you're working, and you know you don't need that big panel saw anymore.
True, yeah, exactly.
It's going to ruin your panel saw sales, you know.
That's very true. But yeah, exactly, you can put this on the wall, out the way, take it outside, or make different kits, different tops, as and when you need them. Yeah. And we're very proud of the fact that the majority of this kit is made here in Axminster, and it's being exported all over the world.
And that's a great thing for UK PLC.
Definitely. So I do hope you found this useful. Thank you for watching.
Thank you very much.
Goodbye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Cheers.